Okay, here we're back. I'm gonna talk more about my book. So I was kind of considering talking about this NDA that I put together for my loved ones when I first was going to publish the book. And it's okay, T. And the reason that I did an NDA is because I was worried that I was worried that religious extremists would come after me. And I mean, yeah, to put it concisely, that was the worry. And to be honest, I'm still worried. Still worried about that. But I just don't have any time to worry about that anymore. Like, I just want to promote my book, and I think I will do like a story time about that because it did get pretty crazy. Like, I did the NDA and then I was like promoting my book and like really funny places, and including my including the college that I graduated from. Because I was just like doing a road trip anyways. So I feel like probably whoever has read my book is maybe wondering what is up with the introduction, and honestly I am a bit embarrassed. So basically I'm talking about the book I wrote, and I want to start talking about it more and more on my channel. The book is called Lovality, The Religion of Love. It is kind of a play on words. It's not like I'm trying to start like an actual religion in the sense that this world perceives religions, meaning like seems each religion has this like massive leadership format, and they have like structures all over the world, and there's like clear like levels of leadership, and they're like raking in the money and all of this. Like, that's definitely not what my book is trying to start or anything. And I do like talk about that, but I think that it's good that I clarify more about the introduction, because when I wrote this, I think I was trying to make the introduction like exciting but also like make sense, and also kind of lightly address the concept of like angels and like intuition, and how, and just like the concept of like everyone has the tools for that. Oh, another thing I want to talk about is like the pseudonym I chose. I definitely regret that. Definitely regret the pseudonym that I chose. I guess I'll talk more about that in another video, but it's kind of like a lot to revisit. Okay, so I haven't looked at my book in a while. Partly it's because I'm kind of embarrassed. Partly it's because it's sad that I haven't gotten that many sales. Partly it's because I've just been depressed. Anyways, okay. There's a part in my book that, well, why am I, okay, I'm trying to explain why I'm embarrassed, but it's hard to put into words because it's kind of emotional, and it's never fun to feel embarrassed about something you've created. And I suppose that's the lifestyle of being an artist, a writer, etc., etc. I mean, really, I would argue that just anything you create in this life, if you feel like any shame connected to it, then it's just not fun. It's just not fun. And I'm trying to be like lighthearted about this, but also like it is a lot to talk about. So I was kind of going to joke that like as soon as page 3, I'm like already embarrassed. And the reason I'm embarrassed is because I bring up the word prophet, and I say, I think the most compassionate and successful prophet. I do put like quotations around it. I think with writing, when you put quotation marks, it can often imply like a little sarcasm, I want to say. So I say, I think the most compassionate and successful prophet delivers their messages whilst prioritizing love, safety, and health. I also think that humans are born with an inner voice and gut instinct to show to them what is right and what is wrong. At the same time, there are many challenges in this world that may hinder someone's ability to truly tune into that. So I just kind of wish that I was more direct with what I was saying, and I think I'm worried that it instead was like a little unhinged. Mainly because the reader might be reading this and thinking, wow, does this writer think that she is a prophet? That's a lot. And that's not what I'm really saying. What I'm saying is that anyone who claims that they are like some kind of prophet, it's inherently illogical, because what my argument is that all humans, no matter who they are, have the ability to tune into this inner wisdom. And also, like, within that, I genuinely believe that whatever's like the truest of wisdom or whatever that might be channeled from higher powers, it would never be delivered to us through some kind of power dynamic, through some kind of extremist who's telling people that they need to do things like specifically, or else they'll be, it's just okay. I'm trying to like get through this, but also, again, it's pretty embarrassing, I want to say. Okay, I feel like this is kind of unhinged too, where I say, there's no way I can convince you that I have the perfect credentials for sharing these writings. Just that statement is just like, it's just like a little unhinged, and I'm like embarrassed, and like I guess what I'm like trying to assert is that I genuinely believe I'm a good person, and that I've worked on myself like really intensely to really believe that I'm a good person, and I genuinely care about the welfare of all living things. And I just think I worded it in kind of a unhinged way. Part of the purpose of me sharing how I feel about this is because I think this energy should be more out in the world. This energy of, if you're an artist, a creator, no matter what you're creating, it should always come from like a humble place. It should always be brought forth with healthy love. There should never be like elements of control or like conditional love. There should never be elements of that in order for it to be truly successful. And I know successful could mean so many things, but really I think success is such a good buzzword for the points I'm making, because I think in all languages, no matter where a person is, like, they kind of want to be successful. Like, that's just a natural instinct, I think, for humans. And so, like, using that concept, using that, I guess, like a theory or just metaphor? No. My assertion is based off of the fact that humans instinctually want to be successful. They instinctively want to make the most out of their life, instinctively want to be happy. Within happiness, sometimes that means that you're making art that is expressing like the most challenging emotions that you could ever face. And like a lot of times that does not feel happy. That can feel troubling, and you might second guess yourself, etc., etc. But I just kind of regret some of the way I worded the introduction, and it's like the introduction, so I'm like, ah, this is the first thing people read when they pick up the book, and it's honestly embarrassing. This another unhinged statement. It takes a lot of faith in the universe, the higher realms, and higher powers to commit to sharing prophetic and or spiritual messages. Like, it's just so embarrassing. I am kind of speechless. There might be people out there that they would say like, oh my gosh, you should own your writings. It's not good to say you're embarrassed about your creation. I actually do not agree with that, because again, I genuinely believe that the healthiest form of anything should be paired with a dose of humility, should be paired with this energy of like, I know that my message is not for everyone. I know that like, even though I believe in these messages, I also think that I'm imperfect, and I'm not gonna like always have like the perfect answers, but I do believe very much in these messages. Like, I've been thinking about that a lot, just especially with like artistic expression. With artistic expression, yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about artistic expression and how there's a lot of what I kind of like to call haterade energy, at least for the time being. Who knows if I'll ever change how I word this, you know? But that's just the best word I can think of, or phrase. So I have witnessed this haterade energy that they approach you, whether that be a comment on social media or in person, and they have this argument directed towards you where they're like, I think that you should be less apologetic about your art. And I've really racked my brain, like, because my first instinct when hearing those messages, something doesn't feel right. And I've thought a lot about it recently. And I think what it is that I actually think it's good to care about what your audience thinks. I actually think it's good to be open-minded to apologizing when one's message could be misconstrued as something. If there's misunderstanding, I think apology can be really beautiful. In fact, I actually have a chapter on apologies. I'm trying to find it. Again, I just haven't looked at my book in a long time because, yeah, I'm just depressed and embarrassed. Embarrassment kind of just goes with depression, but so it's chapter 23, the philosophy of apologies. And I love this for myself, actually. That chapter goes right after chapter 22, which is the actions of white people are historically problematic. And then, so yeah, there's that chapter about white people, actions of white people being historically problematic. And then right following after is the chapter called The Philosophy of Apologies, which is, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Basically in this chapter, it's only a page and a half. But basically, I assert that apologizing is not a sign of weakness. It is actually a sign of healthy love, and it's a sign of empathy. And I think I do say in here somewhere So basically, I say there is an unhealthy proposition that floats around that says then, in order to empower women, they should apologize less. In reality, what must happen is that humanity as a whole needs to apologize more. So that's my assertion there. I talk a little bit more about that. Yeah, I just think misunderstandings are inevitable. Misconstruing messages are inevitable because every single person is so different. Every single person's background is so different. There's just going to be inevitable misunderstandings, miscommunications, misconstruing what someone is doing. And I think by and large, people have the best intentions they can imagine for themselves, with the exception of people that are, I guess I would say, just closer to, I feel like I need to be careful with how I word this. I'm just trying to say that there are people, there's like a small percentage of people in the world that do not have, they just have so little good intention that the bad intentions overpower the good. Yeah, that's a good way to describe that. So, is that all I want to say? I apologize if I am scrambling my words tonight. I think I'm just, I don't know. I don't even know. It's just something about today, scrambling the words more. Okay, so I needed tea here for moral support because maybe the most embarrassing part about my book is that there is a list that I put in the introduction. And the list basically has all the qualities that I believe make me very intuitive and perhaps even, yeah, T knows, he's like this, yes, this is crazy. I basically list qualities about myself that I believe help me be more connected to higher realms. And that is just pretty unhinged. And maybe I just wish I worded it differently. I'm not quite sure. It's a lot to wonder about your writing, but I guess I'll just list a few of the examples. It's not like terrible examples, but the way that I word it is embarrassing for me. And actually, okay, before I say some of the examples, I just want to say that my dream for my next book, because I do want to write a next book, it would be like volume 2, because this is called volume 1, the introduction and first tenets. In volume 2, I want to talk about owning up anything in the first volume that I just don't feel proud of, and just an acknowledgement as an author of nonfiction that I'm open-minded to like not always being right, and I don't believe I am always right. And humans are just so imperfect as they are, so I understand that I am very imperfect. And I want to write in my book, in my next book, I want to write that I acknowledge that I'm imperfect, and basically apologizing if I hurt anyone with my words. And for the record, no one has told me that it's hurt them, anything that I've written. However, I really care about, I really care to address that. I think it's important for the world that more humans acknowledge that they're not perfect and that they do really care if they have hurt others. It's really lacking, I think. I have seen it more and more, I want to say. Maybe I'm just like looking for it, whether that be social media or in a community. But anyways, I will say a couple things on the list and then I'll close the video. And yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about other things about the book in another video. But the first thing on the list is that I say, or I should say I make the claim that I am really good at lucid dreaming, basically. And when I started lucid dreaming, I really believed that it was some kind of connection to something greater than us. I still believe that. However, I really haven't solidified, like formalized what I truly believe or like how it works. Like I have no idea how it works. That's kind of why I think it is so connected to something greater, because it's just such an odd thing. And if no one knows what lucid dreaming is, it's basically where in your dream you can actually have control, or like you have, like your conscious mind is at play. Like you can consciously choose it's just a very more conscious state than a regular dream. So basically, I mean, this is true. Like I say that I have the ability to levitate in those dreams, and that is true. Like in my lucid dreams, I can usually, it just sounds so silly to say to the world, because if you post a YouTube video, it's to the world. But yeah, I have like levitated in these lucid dreams, and basically it's like flying. So hopefully there's others out there that can resonate with this, that are also flying in their dreams. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna post that. I mean, I put it in my book. So what's the other example? I'll say this other embarrassing one. I make the claim that I receive spiritual downloads every day, it says. And I can't, okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. It's just embarrassing, and I can't believe that's an introduction. So it's like the first thing people are reading. With that being said, I will put the link in the description. It's not a very long read. So, I always had the goal of making the book like $1, but because I use Amazon KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, it's impossible to make something $1 because they basically charge for materials. So okay, I think I'll say goodbye for now and see you next time. Yeah.